Module 8, Case Study, From Loosely Formed Idea to MVP in Bertie, the Custify example. Welcome to the final module in this series. In this series, we're going to pull everything together through a real example. How a loose idea, could AI help founders run better customer interviews, evolved into a working MVP called Custify, using Bertie end-to-end. By the end, you'll see how the Ignite and Calibrate stages, along with the Copilot, the Knowledge Hub, and the Venture Development Board, all connect to take an early concept from an interesting thought to a build-ready product. Act 1, the spark, capturing the rough idea in Ignite. The initial concept. It all started with a simple observation. A lot of first-time founders struggle with customer discovery. They ask leading questions, miss the real pain points, keep messy notes, and never quite turn conversations into validated insights. The question behind Custify was, what if AI could guide founders through the whole interview and customer discovery process, from planning to running to making sense of what they hear? Capturing the idea inside Ignite. In our example Bertie program, this early thought becomes a new venture record inside the insight stage. We capture a first snapshot, a basic problem statement. Founders lack structure and confidence when interviewing customers. That was the thesis. That was the basic problem statement. A seed solution, maybe an AI assistant to help plan, to run and analyze interviews is the solution. Again, all this is being done inside in Bertie Ignite stage. Target users, so founders, accelerators, teams, universities, so who are actually struggling with this problem. Ignite also helped with a first draft feature set. So question generation, bias detection, transcript, insight summaries, all these ideas started to emanate from the Ignite stage. So some of the early Ignite tasks, a first draft feature set. So things like question generation or bias detection, transcription of interview notes, insight summaries, things like that, things that hadn't been thought as part of the initial concept. Some of the early Ignite tasks. Ignite wraps some structure around these thoughts that were evolving through Ignite. Things like tasks for the problem solution analysis, early market sizing. So founders, accelerators, innovation programs, what's the size of the market? A simple competitor scan, tools for scripting or note-taking, what kind of competitive products are out there? A first attempt at describing what this interview assistant might actually be, using the Copilot and Knowledge Hub in Ignite. As these tasks are completed, the Copilot is used to help refine the problem statement, sketch early personas and customer segments, draft a first cut competitor matrix, and some basic positioning. Now, linked resources from the Knowledge Hub included customer interview guides, jobs to be done material, discovery checklists. These all provide a grounding so that the idea doesn't float off into a theoretical analysis. Ignite decision point. At the end of Ignite, the program manager and venture partners have a clear snapshot that the problem is common and painful. Proposed solution appears credible and differentiated. There's no obvious showstopper competitor that dominates the space. So on that basis, the decision is made to move into the Calibrate for deeper and more structured validation. Act 2, Calibrate, deeper validation and the emergence of the 6 agents. Designing the Calibrate journey in Bertie, following the Ignite stage, is the far more comprehensive Calibrate stage, with pillars to help validation for concepts such as Custify. The Calibrate fit pillars focus on market and customers, problem-solution fit, product overview, early-stage business modeling. Tasks include mapping assumptions, designing interviews, logging insights, and deciding what to test next. Running customer discovery inside Bertie. The Custify founder uses Bertie to plan every interview, hypothesis, log notes and attach transcripts, tag insights against pillars and themes, and use the Copilot to generate interview questions and summarize themes. As interviews accumulate, patterns emerge. Through the work in Calibrate, we discovered the 6 component agents of Custify. The 6-agent approach to Custify, identified through the Ignite and part of the Calibrate stages, include a discovery planner agent, which defines target segments and hypotheses to be tested. An interview script agent, which generates non-leading, open questions, a la mom test, which are rules for talking to customers and validating business ideas effectively. The core principles of the mom test is to extract honest, factual insights about a user's life and problems, rather than asking for opinions or validation of your specific idea, which we all love to do. The third agent was a live coach, or what we call a persona simulator agent. This helps the user practice interview questions with an AI simulator. The fourth agent was interview execution. So at this stage, the personas have been identified, the questions have been written according to the MAM test, the interviews have been tested using the AI agent, and now it's time to actually go and do the interviewing. So conduct real world interviews, and upload transcripts or notes for comprehensive analysis. The fifth agent is a transcript analysis agent, which extracts key insights, themes, and patterns from interview data. And the final agent is a bias detection agent, which identifies leading questions and cognitive biases to improve interview quality. All these individual agents were not imagined on day one by any stretch of the imagination. They emerged organically from structured Bertie program tasks, market research, and the Calibrate structured approach. All learnings are captured in the Venture Development Board, such as validated versus invalidated assumptions, interview outcomes and patterns, evolving problem-solution fit, key decision points. The Venture Development Board effectively becomes the narrative spine of the new Custify venture. Next, Act 3, Build Ready, turning all these insights into a PRD and ultimately an MVP. So creating the PRD, or the product requirements document in Bertie. One of the key Calibrate milestones is PRD drafted for MVP build. Bertie helps pull together everything that is needed for the PRD. This includes updated personas and user scenarios, refined problem statements and JTBD, functional requirements for each of the 6 agents, and a clear MVP scope with explicit non-goals for version 1. The Copilot supports this by utilizing Calibrate completed tasks and turning findings into structured PRD sections, as well as drafting user stories and acceptance criteria, and producing clean, investor-ready phrasing. Knowledge Hub as the source of truth. These templates and trainings around relevant tasks such as PRD completion, interview summaries, competitor matrix, and early design sketches are all stored in the Knowledge Hub. The benefits of having used Bertie through Calibrate and Ignite are clear. Requirements were structured and centralized. The 6-agent model provided a natural feature roadmap. The Calibrate output for Custify was used as input to a low-code, no-code platform and included product build guidelines or scaffolding for Custify, the multi-agent solution, as well as branding and sequenced prompts to help avoid the rabbit holes that one can wander down in these no-code platforms. So closing the loop, once the MVP is live, focus is now on onboarding beta users, getting feedback, and continuing the early product market validation through Bertie's Calibrate stage. A full learn, build, learn cycle emerges with Bertie at the core. So, in summary, in this final module, you've seen a real venture, i.e. Custify, travel, a typical founder journey. The journey from a fuzzy idea captured in Ignite through detailed problem solution validation and market research in Calibrate into a clearly articulated and detailed PRD, and finally into a build-ready MVP developed on a low-code, no-code platform using the structured outputs created in Bertie. We now have a concrete template for helping founders, students, researchers, or indeed entrepreneurs do the same thing in your own programs. With Ignite, Calibrate, the Copilot, the Knowledge Hub, and the Venture Development Board working together, Bertie gives you a complete pathway from insight to real product and a way to repeat that journey across many ventures and cohorts. This case study closes the Program Manager series, but we all know in practice, it's really the starting point for applying everything that we've learned to the new ventures and accelerator programs that we run in the future. Thank you for your time.